Oh yeah, it's Yammer and the Hammer time. That's better.
About halfway through our Portugal trip, I'm going to save my review for the overall trip to the very end. Um, Luckily, we arrived alive. I was really worried about the flight. We've never done a flight overseas before, and I was really nervous. But we're here, but it didn't go super smooth. Um, and it wasn't anything to do with the airlines or anything like that, but it's to do with me. Now, I was a navigator here. I needed my sleep. I needed lots of beauty sleep, and I did not get it. And I was a grumpy bear. And turns out I ended up being a total douchebag. But I need a window seat, pillow against the window. I sleep. I sleep. I'm good. We didn't get our window seat. I got a big guy beside me, and I'm pretty sure he did not want some dude snuggling up against him. So, did I get any sleep? No. Did I start coming down with a cold? Absolutely. So, it did not start out smooth. Anyways, fast forward, we land, and these are just some little tips for you so that if you come to Lisbon or Portugal, you know what to expect. You land, you're on the tarmac. There are stairs that come to you, then you're put onto a shuttle that takes you to immigration. You know, you follow the crowd to immigration. The signs aren't very well marked, but you get to immigration. Now, we prepared ourselves for the um, Port- Portugal travel app. Anyways, they're supposed to be doing this biometric scanning, picture taking, fingerprinting, all for security. And we get there was none of that. It's like, where'd it go? But we still had to be in line for an hour and a half. It's like, are you kidding me? I just want you to be aware they may actually have that in the future. So just be aware of that. The problem started at the rental car kind of idea. You know, the insurance issue. And this is just something to keep in mind. Um, the insurance that you get from third parties, such as Expedia, something like that, may or may not be a good thing. Uh, Essentially, you're still held responsible until they reimburse you. That could be a problem if something happens. The other thing too is there's a collision damage waiver or something like this, and apparently it's something to do with the Portugal government is enforces it, which might make your credit card insurance null and void. I'm just saying this so that you can check into it before you come here. Double check into this just to make sure you're covered for insurance. That's the last thing you want. Driving in Portugal, it's not that bad. You're on the same side of the road. Um, Tons of turnabouts, lots of turnabouts. You just have to figure out how to navigate them. Um, the one thing that's different is that you're driving at on major highways about 120 kilometers an hour, and there's a round blue sign underneath it. Quite often it says 50. What is that? It turns out maximum 120, minimum 50, which won't be uncommon because this happened to us. We're puts along behind somebody doing 75, and there goes somebody ripping past us 140, 150. It happens. It is what it is. That's just driving in Portugal. Now, as for gas here, we're paying about a 210 a liter euros, which translates to about 360, 370 a liter Canadian, which is pretty darn expensive. But if you want a rental car, if you want to drive over here, that's what you get. And the other thing too is a transponder, and I would highly recommend one just because a lot of the highways are still tolls. They've gotten rid of a lot of them, but the ones that are still tolls, you have a V lane and you slow down to 60 kilometers an hour, you go right through, not a big deal. Everything is fantastic. It's $20 for the car rental to add it to the car rental for your transponder. Not a big deal. I think it is a well worth investment. Makes it a lot easier. Don't have to worry about it. Now, the other thing you have to consider here is driving here. We did not notice a lot of street signs. We were trying to get to places. Really hard to find place numbers. So follow your GPS. When it says to turn right, you turn right. When it says to turn left, you turn left, right? Except use with caution because there's a lot of one-way streets here and numerous times it tried to put us the wrong way on a one-way street. Luckily, Mr. Navigator here was awake at this point in time. So use your GPS, use with discretion as well. Now, a note on hotels. Now, this is a beautiful little villa in the middle of absolute nowhere. When we pulled in, we're like, you've got to be kidding me. What is this place? But it's pretty cool. It is the cutest little place going. Um, when we stayed in Portimao, it's a lot of it is apartment style. So you might get an apartment style. Keep in mind, they're made of concrete and ceramic. They are not soundproof no matter what they say. You got somebody beside you, you're going to hear them. Somebody above you, you're going to hear them. They're sparsely decorated. It echoes in there. Like, who moves furniture around at 2 o'clock in the morning? They did. The other thing, too, is we're on the sixth floor. Down below us, we have roosters. 4 o'clock in the morning, they start going. And we have a park, a little ways away from us, 5 minute way away. And they start talking to the peacocks. Now, the peacocks are beautiful, but if you ever heard one, they're not so beautiful. So you got this rooster talking to a peacock, peacock talking to a rooster. I'm awake. So we actually had our rooms changed. But did you know that that rooster, it echoed up through the bathroom plumbing and you could hear it coming up out of the bathroom? Seventh floor, opposite side of the building. Are you kidding me? But it is what it is. Also, a couple things to remember too is they have a lot of double single beds, double beds. They don't have a lot of queen or king. So if you're looking for that, make sure you research that out to make sure you get what you want. And just a couple little quirky things that I find is that, okay, I'm from Canada. Is this a foot bath or is this a urinal? I'm going to assume it's a urinal, I think. And the other thing is this over here, the toilet paper. What's it doing behind the toilet? Like, you're gonna rip your back out trying to get to the toilet paper, twist and shout and let it all out. That's just me. It's just a little quirky thing that is about me. So there you go. Now, as for food, we have eaten at a few restaurants. We're not huge restaurant people. Plus, they do a lot of seafood down here, and that's what Portugal is. But they do have a lot of options for us non-seafood people. They've got Portuguese steak, the chicken piri piri, which is like a chicken with a bit of a spicy coating on it. Um, they've got breads, lots of breads, and they have the pastel de natas. They're like this creme brulee awesomeness. They're just so good. We've gone through so many of them so far, but there's plenty of food to eat. Now, we did a lot of grocery stores, got our own food, made our own lunches and breakfasts, which allow us to travel a lot quicker in the morning, and I'll get to that in a second. And the other thing too is you have to, when you go in the grocery stores, you realize you're in Portugal. So, you know, you're looking for milk or eggs. Well, you're not going to find them in the refrigerator section. They have a different way of processing foods down here. So they don't need to be refrigerated, which was really weird. And here is something for us Tim Hortons lovers or coffee lovers in Canada. Get your fix now. The Portuguese over here consider Tim Hortons coffee as dirty water. That's what we've been told. Um, so, okay, you get your coffee. Well, there's no cream here. Cream is hard to come by. We try to bring our own, but it's not, you can't bring dairy products into the country, which we normally do wherever we go. So we went looking for it. After the third grocery store, we finally found it. An obscure grocery store in the middle of nowhere. They had a bottle of cream. So that has made it a little bit better. This is the shoulder season. We're midweek in May. It's pretty chilly here, but actually works pretty good for going through historical places. You're not sweating like crazy and that kind of stuff. But here's the thing. Even though it's the shoulder season, you have to get to your destination or your point of interest, historical place, early in the morning. By 10 o'clock, it starts getting busy. I can't imagine what some of these places are like at a Saturday in the middle of July. It would be pure madness. So to give you an example, we did a kayak tour 6:30 in the morning You had to peel our butts out of bed. We're driving in the dark thinking, are we nuts? We haven't had our Tim Hortons coffee. Are we crazy? But I got to tell you the best thing we did for a couple of reasons. First of all, no traffic. And secondly, for the timing. The ocean was quiet. It was no waves. There was no wind. The golden hour of light, everything was illuminated beautifully. The cliffs looked amazing. And the other thing was there was nobody. But by the time we came back at 10 o'clock, oh my God, there's people everywhere. And this is shoulder season in May, midweek. Could you imagine what it's like in July on a Saturday? It would not be fun. That's the biggest thing I can say is do your things early in the morning. Okay, get this guy out of the way. Get. I'm interrupting only for a minute. I forgot to mention something yesterday. It's actually very important. And before we even get to that, um, you can't miss the episode coming up that we're going to be doing. We just got back from Evora. We saw Roman ruins. We saw human bones. It was absolutely spectacular. That'll be all upcoming in a future episode. And the other thing is that we got back here. We took our advice, our own advice. We left early to beat the crowds, and we did. We missed the big tour coming through, the Chapel of Bones. It was great. So we weren't sure if there was a breakfast included here or not. And when we got back, sure enough, there was a picnic basket, boo-boo. Okay, we thought breakfast was included here, but we weren't too sure. So I out this morning, went to Evora and came back to a basket, really cute basket of ham, cheese, croissants, fruit, oatmeal or oats, milk, juice, yogurt, bread. This is one breakfast. This place is absolutely amazing. Now for the part that it's actually very important. Please remember that you're in Portugal, not Spain. When you're here, speak Portuguese. We actually made the mistake a couple times of saying thank you, gracias. No, obrigado. That is thank you in Portuguese. Portugal and Spain's history goes way back, and it's not necessarily a good history. So please be respectful and try to speak Portuguese, not Spanish. That is a huge tip. This is directly from the locals. We had a huge conversation with some locals here. This is a fantastic place to understand the true Portugal culture. And this is one of the things that they had said to us. So I'm going to send you back to that other dude. So exit stage left. So please watch for their upcoming series. I think I'm going to do about a 9-part series. And we're going to explore different places throughout the Algarve region, historical places. And I got to tell you, in Canada, we think of history as being like the 1800s, the War of 1812, whatever. I'm not downplaying that, but we think of history in Canada as a couple of 100-year event. Here in Europe, Portugal, it's thousands of years. So I'm going to share all this with you. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to try to keep the videos short. I got lots of content to go through. Until that point, stay safe and Scooby-Doo-wah.